What? So do you know what any times that you do? Sort of for 100 or
So like,
200?
I did the 1500 meters in November, and that was 23 minutes. But
Wow,
I don't
okay.
know because I swim with like other people so much. It's
Yeah,
hard to gauge like how
yeah,
quick you are because
yeah.
you don't
Because you
spend a lot
draft
of
off
time at the
them.
front,
Yeah,
kind of thing. So,
yeah.
but we tend to do like one at 100 leaving on 130. So it must be going pretty quick. But I'm
Let,
always at the back.
and how much rest do you reckon you're getting?
Like 4 seconds,
Oh, do you? Do you reckon you
3 or 4 seconds.
But even that is really good. 126s.
Yeah,
You,
but I'm behind someone though, so it's like probably can't do that on my own unless
yeah, but
someone.
you'd probably then be able to hold, 131s or 130s or something like that. Be interesting. Be interesting. Be really interesting if you've got, or you're, I don't know if you're motivated training by yourself, or you have to be with other people.
I tend to train on my
With
own,
them.
like before work and stuff.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
prefer it because
okay.
otherwise, like, I go off too quick
Yeah.
and try and
Okay.
keep up with people.
Yeah. So it's a perfect way, but it might be. I suppose if you were training with people you're training with, you probably won't lead out, but
No.
they'd be doing you wonders anyway. So let's have a little look at your technique and let's see what you're doing really, really well. I like you in the background taking pictures. And also what we can improve.
Okay, yeah. I'll slow mo.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna slow mo you completely because actually what you then get to see is absolutely every part of your stroke. There's no getting away from it at all. So you've got an amazing. Just let me see.
The bum's high, isn't it? Oh my god.
So what? You're really funny. So what's really good is that if you go to swim in the open water, is an open water thing for triathlon a
I've done
chance?
a few,
Okay.
yeah. Over summer, like me and my dad.
You would
Sometimes
actually be
swim out.
really good in the open water. You'd go really well. Because can you see the clearance you've got over the top of the water? Can you see how high your arm is and recovery?
Yeah.
And no, that's a really,
Is
really
that?
good thing. So Johnny Brownlee, Alistair Brownlee, when they
Yeah.
swim, they're very similar, really high arm recovery, which is
Oh,
fab. Basically, that means that if you're swimming in a flat pool, so it doesn't make any difference. But
yeah.
imagine if you were in choppy waves.
Oh, right, you can get over.
Yeah, you get over them. Whereas if you saw Richard before, he had very smooth, close to the
Yeah, his
water.
fingers were like.
Yeah, absolutely. But put him in an open water like situation, he would do much better because he'd
Okay.
keep getting all the waves. He'd keep getting hit by the waves and have to adapt to stroke. So you've already got that stroke, and you're swimming in a swimming pool.
Is that kind of a. Is it a waist going up to high?
No, no,
No,
not at
just
all.
kind of.
Actually, what it does is engage your right muscle groups because if you sometimes come around, what sometimes that does is limit the muscle groups you're using to the smaller muscles.
Yeah.
So actually, by coming up and over, you're using all your lats and your big muscle groups, which is ideal. So therefore, you think you won't fatigue so much,
Yeah, yeah.
and you're less likely to get shoulder injuries. Have you got any
So-
shoulder injuries?
No, I like never get them.
Oh, brilliant!
No, so.
Perfect. Sorry, you're going to say. Something?
No. Like the other people I swim with get them quite regularly, but.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of either upping your training too soon, or there's a crossover or something going on within your stroke.
Anything with like going up to higher, I find it quite hard to like keep this where I think it should be.
Okay, let's have a little look at that. We'll have a little look whether that is the case because sometimes it feels like it is, or it might be. But we'll have a look when we go under the water. This looks brilliant. One goggle in, one goggle out, breathing into that trough. It's good. Yeah, it's really good to see. It's brilliant. Okay, and then when we're here at this stage, so the camera's designed for underwater, so over the top it's slightly blurry, but what we can see is fingertip first, then we want your wrist, and then your elbow. So it's a good arm. It's a good arm entry. Your recovery here again, it's not quite so high, but the other side you're breathing. So when you breathe, generally, most people will, but it's still really high. It's brilliant. It's not overly high, but what would be great is that you'll be engaging the right muscle groups. And you can see.
Sometimes they get us to do like a drill where when you're recovering, you like stroke the water with your fingers.
Yeah, how do you find that?
I just think it's pointless. I just don't think it's point.
I would agree for your stroke it wouldn't be very useful. Because the reason for the trail fingers is to keep that elbow high.
Oh,
But
right,
actually, and that's fine for pool swimmers that you're training for pool swimmers.
Yeah.
But actually, for open water, you want the stroke you've got. So actually, by doing that drill, you're training out of you what you actually do really nicely.
Right, okay.
So there might be a way of listening to the drill being told and then doing the opposite.
Yeah.
You might get told off. Elliot, you're not doing that
Why are
quite
you
right.
trying?
He's not very good at that drill. You're really good at swimming, but not that drill. I don't know why. But you imagine you practicing that when you've got a really nice high arm recovery where it isn't very useful for you as a swimmer. And actually, it's not useful for any triathlete or open water swimmer. It's okay for certain things about engagement, but there are better drills. So for you, definitely other maybe listen and agree, and then maybe don't do it. Yeah, just swim normally. Here's interesting on this arm. Can you see the back of your arm slightly? Can you see that water coming up there?
Yeah.
It's slightly entered. You look like you've got fingertip first, and then put your elbows in. So you're dropping your elbow on that side. Now, most people will be doing that because they're overextending somehow at the front end. We'll have a look when we go from the overhead view to see what is actually happening. You also only breathe to the one side. Is that something that is fine? You just don't. You want to change?
I don't know. After the race had just done, I started to like learn how to tumble turn because that looks everyone would beat me tumble turn, but not everyone would beat me like bilateral breathes.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Be interesting to see. I'm going to have a look from the overhead shot because what often happens when you breathe just to the one side in training as well. Because if I say someone races or I race or something, I might only breathe to the one side if there's crashing waves or something on the other side. Yeah. But imagine that you needed to breathe to the opposite side and you can't do it. Yeah, you would be. You'd be like, oh. So in training, breathing bilaterally gives you that option to always breathe to the opposite side if need be. Because the worst thing would be is that you train and train and train. And you come to the event, you've got crashing waves, or if you're in the open water on that side. And actually, the people that end up winning are the people that can actually just breathe to the other side, but they're not as good swimmers as you.
Okay.
So it might be something. I'm not saying definitely do it. Also, the other thing is if we look at your stroke and it's unsymmetrical, so there might be a crossover or anything, it might be that actually bilateral breathing will help you be a bit more symmetrical. Okay. But we'll have a little look.
Okay.
Do you reckon that? Have you been looking at Elliot's stroke? Yeah, but I mean, it looks brilliant. Also, what I'm interested in is exactly what you said earlier: is that your hips and your look at your kick right out. Brilliant position. Yeah, it's fantastic. Basically, you'd annoy a lot of swimmers in a nice way because you want your head, your hips, and your heels coming out of the water, or very close to the water. And we'll have a look underneath the water in a minute. But yeah, it's good.
I've got a big bum. That's what it is.
Well, keep
quite buoyant.
You're so funny. Yeah, it looks really good. Yeah. It's just this part at the moment. This part where you're slightly entering elbow first, but it's not significant. But I'm going to have a little look now. Let's see from the overhead shot. See what's happening. I'll give you all the raw footage as well. Yeah. You're going to love the rest of these shots.
It's going to be on time. Oh, I'll tell you all.
Yeah, you are.
Let's go looking around Lancaster today. I'm just going to be in the hotel.
Yeah, you go. Look. Okay, so here what we're looking at is how straight your arm enters into the water. Now, this is going to be interesting for you. It's because now it's not. I mean, I see hundreds of swimmers, so it's not actually that bad. But if you think of where your effort and energy is going, it's actually going towards the pool side here.
That's it.
Yeah. And that will have an impact on your speed, it will have an impact on your stroke, it will have an impact on if you go in the open water. Let's have a look at your other arm. And your other arm's much straighter. There's a slight kind of kink out. It's really subtle, but some of the kind of very good swimmers that overextend slightly. And that's where, where we started to see the elbow dropping. It's all where it links up. It's because what we often see is a slight elbow drop and then a slight turn of that hand, because it's all about someone trying to get the max out of their length of their stroke. In fact, we might not get you spearing shorter, but just get you spearing into the water and a little bit deeper, and it will solve all of that. Now, if this might all be a bit like, I don't get what Emma's on about.
No. Yeah.
Does that make sense
Yeah.
at the moment? Cool.
Oh,
Let me show you against Jono. No pressure at all. But you need to swim like him by the end. Now I'm off to Perth on Hello. I'm off to Perth on Monday, and I'll be coaching. So have you seen Mr. Smooth?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad, is he?
It's pretty good. The soundtrack to this video is good as well.
Yeah, it is actually.
Not that you watched it or anything.
No, not that you've watched that one, but it's fine.
It's probably half it.
But if we pause this here, say with Jono, what we can see is that from his shoulder, through his elbow, through his wrist, through his fingers, it's so straight to the end of the pool. And then what we saw, take this one for example, and this isn't actually that bad, but we can improve it, which will get you going faster. So our ideal is that is where we want your arm.
Okay.
Literally spearing. So you want to imagine that you've got lines out from your shoulder, and you're spearing your middle finger in from that line, in and forward to the end of the swimming pool. So basically from both your shoulders, down. However, we are just normal. And have a look. If I was going to work with something for Jono, look how straight his arm is, but can you see how it slightly crosses?
So I kind of knew that you meant to have your arms straight, but I think I'm trying to get it in line with my eyes.
Yeah.
Rather than line
well, this is what we were just working with Richard. If you're watching some of the sessions, the biggest breakthrough with him is that he was going, I am swimming like this, but actually he was swimming exactly how you were describing. He was swimming, putting his hand into his centre line, and he came out of it here. And what that does is engage you with your big lats again. So you suddenly use all your big muscle groups, and so you can go faster, for longer and harder. So it's great. It's kind of like these winning little things that you're like, actually, small, tight, and a tweak will make a big difference. So let's carry on. That's interesting, actually. So, look at that one. It's quite significant, that one at that point. It isn't, but for your stroke and your speed, if we take that out of the equation, you'll go a lot faster.
It's happening like every stroke.
Yeah.
So that's kind of I'm wasting.
Yeah, you are. You're wasting quite a bit, but even here, there's a slight crossover, and then your wrist, because you come in, it's like you adjust. It's a bit like, have you ever sailed? So you've got your tiller at the back and you steer with your tiller. So if you're going a bit off with your arm, what will happen is that you'll move your hand and that will direct you in the
right, so I'm just like snaking my way out.
Well, actually, you're actually pretty straight in the water. However, I reckon we can get you so much straighter without this crossover. And the effort that will be taken out of your swim, you'll improve straight away. Because here, you're going across, and then have a look. You get back to straightening up. So now you're straight. So you speared in there, and then you straighten up to there. Yeah. So you're going from here to there, and that can only be pushing you around the water. Yeah. So actually, if we get you looking like Jono, where you're literally going straight down the swimming pool, it'd be brilliant. It'd be easier, and you'll be knocking seconds off your 100-metre times. So suddenly leaving on 130s, that's going by the way, you might have 10 seconds for a storm. You might get 6 seconds. Yeah, anything. That's brilliant. Okay, the only other thing I want... Oh, let me say, so the way we adjust this is a bit of a visualisation, like I say, from your shoulder, which is going to feel really odd, because this is going to feel normal and right. Yeah. And when we change it, it's going to feel... That's not right enough. That's odd. But yeah, it's just a little bit of muscle memory over time, and then it will come good. And the other way, so you've got great definition on your shoulders and your back. Yeah, it's brilliant.
So modest as well.
She's going to be giving you a stick for the rest of the day. But it's all posture related, so swimming, one of the things that you want to be thinking about is shoulder blades together and back a little bit. So it's like, I always describe it as you're standing on a podium after you won your first race, so you're proud, not that you're going out for a fight on a Saturday night, so you're not rigid, like, I'm in the right position, it's that you're relaxed. And that helps engage your big muscles again. So all we're trying to do with you swimming is engage your lats a bit more.
Yeah.
Take the stress off your shoulders, because imagine over time your shoulders are going to get fatigued. And that's why so many people have got the shoulders injuries. Yeah. So we want to use their bigger muscles to get them through. So we're going to do a few drills that will help you visualise lines to the end of the pool. It's only then that you'll go, oh yeah, I've got this crossover going on. And then, and we'll also get you thinking shoulder blades together and back.
Just while it's like, what's that?
You
know, my kick.
Yeah, look at it, it's amazing. Your whole foot's out the water.
Yeah, but is it not because I'm like...
No, well actually, let's have a look at your kick.
Because that's massive.
Here.
That goes massive.
Yeah, so let's have a little look here. It's not that big. Hello. Hello. You're right. Happy New Year. It's way before Christmas. So, can you see you kick from your knee a little bit?
Yeah.
I'll show you this a little bit underneath the water. Now, you'll have watched your YouTube video, so you probably know crossover at the front will cause a slight kick out.
Yeah, yeah.
In fact, what I would normally see, let's see Jono, because actually, can you see how wide that looks?
Right, okay,
so from the overhead view, your kick actually isn't too wide.
Okay.
However, I think you're kicking slightly from your knee, which I'll see when we go underneath the water.
Yeah.
And that will be caused by, this will be interesting for you. Have a little look at this. Your hand is there and your other hand is there. So, one of the things we're going to work on today, and let's have a little look at Jono so you, is that, Jono keeps moving to a different scene. Come back, here we go. So can you see as this arm enters, which is just what your arm's going to do now, your arm is coming back, but you can see it's much further forward. Well. So you nearly do like a Superman. Have you ever done catch-up as a drill?
Yeah.
Do you get given catch-up still?
I just don't like doing it.
So, it wouldn't be the most useful drill for you either.
Yeah.
If I put it in a nice
it makes your hands like go directly in front of you.
And this is what we often see with people that do catch-up. What happens is this hand out in front has a pause, so it's not really doing too much. And then this one catches up. Right. So basically, you're nearly doing catch-up, which, when people have this, you imagine at this point there's no propulsion in your stroke. You've literally gone into pause and glide. The only way then you get some propulsion, and without knowing it, it's all like out of your consciousness, is that you generally will have that kick from the knee.
Right, yeah.
So it's like an overgut kickstart, absolutely. So here, both your arms out in front and a slight kick out from your knee. That hand just hangs around a little bit, catches up. Can you see your knee, your leg kicking out? So we'll work on that. It's interesting, isn't it?
I didn't think I did that at all.
But your speed, if we can sort your crossover out and your timing of your stroke slightly, and that's why catch-up is one of the drills not to do. Definitely for you. So that might be another one that, if you're given...
Respectfully decline.
yeah. Don't show this to the coach. But probably not the best drill to be practicing for yourself as a swimmer. Because actually, we don't want you catching up. We want one arm in front. And just have to have a look at your arm so we see the difference. And one arm always pulling through. So as this hand comes, you see what I mean?
Well,
but I would class you as a smooth swimmer.
Yeah, I thought it was like a glider.
There are overglider traits.
Yeah.
With this. So,
yeah.
But I reckon by the end of the day you'd be a bit smooth. You're definitely on the overglider spectrum, I was going to say. But by the end of but you won't be by the end of this session because you'll catch up. That's all sort of overglider stuff.
Yeah.
Let's have a look underneath the water. There's a few other things, but no, you're not. I reckon you'll be a super smooth. Yeah, without question. Because look, no coming up. Now,
Oh yeah, that's so.
when you breathe, what are you noticing?
Straight arm.
Straight arm and pushing down in the water, which basically pushes your upper body up, and you've got amazing body position, but will drop your legs slightly.
Yeah.
And then you spin. So, you know how we saw the dropped elbow?
Yeah.
Can you see that it's slightly, if we draw a line here,
Yeah.
oh, and then I mean, I'll be uber picky, but it's slightly like that. So a slight dropped elbow. Now, this might be because you only breathe to the opposite side.
Yeah.
And actually, what we'll work on again is engaging your shoulder blades, and that should bring it up a little bit more.
Okay.
It's not the easiest thing to do, but
No.
suddenly, when you get these engaged, you feel the power massively. It changes all your stroke life. It feels easier, and then you're knocking 5 seconds off your 100-metre times or something.
So I watched like footage of is it called that Sun Yang?
Oh yeah.
1500 metre swimmer, and his elbow was like ridiculously high.
Yeah.
I just kind of thought that was like a genetic thing.
A lot of elite swimmers are what you'll find is that hypermobile. A lot of elite swimmers, so they can get into this amazing. Yeah. So for most general swimmers, it's not normal, and for adult swimmers, not many people can get into this position. So spearing in, but then hinging. So even if you speared into here and then got into this hinging from the elbow position, that would be better. We'll go through that. But the biggest thing there is not pushing down. So making sure that when you take a breath, it doesn't push down. See the pause. I like that. I'll pause it and it says pause. But that's not. It hangs around. There's a little bit of a pause in your stroke. This pushes down. Have a look at this arm. This is my arm. Hang. And this arm catches up.
Okay, yeah.
It's not the worst catch up in the world, but it's there. And I think once we get that flowing in your rhythm a bit more, you will notice the difference. You'll be like, oh wow, it should be easier as well. Because every time you stop moving, you have to generate that propulsion to go again. Yeah. So actually, if we keep you moving and keep that propulsion and momentum, you'll fly. So yeah, so for this arm basically, and this is going to be hard to change because you're just breathing to that side. It might be we get you breathing bilaterally, and suddenly you're aware of what this arm's doing a bit more. Ideally, we want you to be down here. Now, if I showed you, have you seen Shelley Taylor Smith at all? You might recognise her when I bring her up. No. You might not have. But let's have a look here. Can you see how from her elbow she starts getting to this catch position? So she spears relatively deep and then gets into this catch, and that's what we're going to work on with you today. Is that spearing, but then get into this really nice catch position, even when you're breathing. Because basically what's happening when you breathe is that you push down in the water. Can you see that? Straight arm, slightly dropped elbow, pushing down, which will push your upper body up, drop your legs. And because there's been no propulsion, you have this little cheeky kick from the knee as well. So it's that kind of glide. But we don't need to work on that actually, because what we'll work on is your catch, and that will sort itself out. Okay. So what's nice is that everything has cause and effect. Yeah. So, we'll go through a few things here. We'll go and work on like 3 or 4 things today, but it will affect everything within the stroke. There'll be like a chain reaction. So I do one thing, it will have lots of little different changes. We won't overcoach you today, but we'll give you enough to change everything you need to. Just look at your legs there. Pause. And that will go once we sort this arm out in the catch and stop that sort of pause and overglide. You see, then you become proper smooth. You're a bit of a rough smooth, I'm saying.
Rough smooth.
Yeah, so can you see? It's not that bad. If you saw some of the videos I saw, but for you and your level, we can definitely improve this kick from the knee. And actually, you've got a really good kick. So the kick from the knee is just not right, and it's only caused by an ineffective catch.
Okay.
Right, have a look at this bit. You'll like this one. Pause of the hand.
So kind of like as soon as it goes, oh my god.
Have a little look. It pauses. Can you see it? It's not. I like your reaction. Oh my god.
Because I watched all the videos. I know what's not good, but you don't know what you're doing when you're swimming.
No, okay, so. Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh, it is. It's much worse than slow motion, and that's the point. Is that we're picking everything.
Really bad thing.
Yeah, everything up. So here on this arm, we're going to work on when you take that breath, and if we look at Shelly in the same position while she's up, we're going to get you into this position. So you're really getting into a quite, not a high elbow that we've seen, but a reasonably high elbow, rather than that push down. It's such a straight arm, and actually on the exciting part of this is if we can get you using this arm rather than levering down on it, again you're going to go so much faster. Because actually every 2 strokes you're taking a breath, and every 2 strokes you're pushing down, so that's a complete ineffective sort of catch. So this is where you definitely can start moving on with your swim times and beating people you want to. On this arm, you can see the significant crossover there. You can see that going across your head.
Yeah.
Now, let's have a look at Shelley as she spears in. Can you see how it's nearly like in line with her shoulder?
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to work on with you, is bringing it out just slightly. We don't want to make any drastic changes.
That's the thing, because when you change, you're obviously going to do something slower.
Yeah,
so in your head, that makes you think, oh, that's not good.
I know. And that's the frustration, is that when, anything you start changing, especially if you've done it for years, it's really hard. And you go, I don't want to go slower, but you will get faster in the long run.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, I actually think you'll get faster by the end of today. But just because of actually what you're doing, there are a few little things we can tweak and you'll just go faster. Now this pause, for example, take that out, and that doesn't mean that I'm just going to get you thinking about keeping that consistent catch and keeping moving throughout the stroke. You're going to go faster than you just do that. Now let's have a measure of your catch here. Can you see how straight it is? Is it what, so?
It's not that bad. It's just like
no, it's not.
Inside.
Yeah. I really tried to make it.
It's not. It's not bad. Honestly, it isn't actually that bad. And what's really good about it is that your hand is actually in the right place. Because it's out from your shoulder. The only difference that you can see between you and Shelley is that her elbow's a little bit higher. And all that's to do with is, what I think once we take that pause out of your stroke, you will feel that catch a little bit quicker. So, what we'll work on is definitely getting into more of a catch. Same thing with this arm. That will sort your leg kick out from the knee. We'll work on that crossover that we see. Because you can see it looks a little bit uncomfortable, because can you see going to take that breath as that arm comes in or coming back? And then that pause, and then we'll work on a little bit of the catch. The only other thing we could work on, if we go and jump in the water in a minute, is, do you think, I'm just looking at your breath, do you exhale or do you hold on to your breath?
No, I do exhale, but I've realised that I didn't do it on the first few legs, I don't know.
I know, because I watched some of it going, I don't think you exhale. There is an anxiety when you get videos as well. It's not like the most comfortable. I've only met this woman like 2 minutes ago, and now she's videoing me. So I think today we'll first work on the sort of crossover that we saw. So working on shoulder blades together and back, getting really good posture. I'll give you a few drills that you can go away and practice, or not. But I'll practice maybe when they give you catch up. You can do your own version, like the one on.
Okay.
We'll work on sort of spearing into the right depth. Do you fancy giving bilateral breathing a go?
Yeah.
Why haven't you done it before? It's hard.
I can do something like 3 times a week, and it just seems like
Okay.
I might not improve as quick, but obviously it's long term.
Well, we can give it a go. We can spend like 2 or 3 minutes on it today, then you can go. Yeah, no, and it doesn't matter, but it'd be worth practicing.
Yeah.
So I won't spend masses, but I'll give you an idea. I'll give you a little. You'll have seen it on YouTube, like the bubble breathe thing. Oh, you might not have.
No.
Oh, well, we're going to do that on poolside, and actually, what it does is distract you, and actually, most people can bilateral breathe straight away doing it.
Okay.
So it might be that we do something, and you're like, oh, it's really easy. So give that a go.
Yeah. I don't mind if it's like hard, so it's not.
You will so get better, and then we'll work on catch and making really sure nice high elbow. Have you done doggy paddle drill before?
No.
She's so excited.
I'm like a little guinea pig.
What is it? I'm going to show you when we get out there. And that will really tune up your stroke. Let me just quickly show you actually on here. You would have done it as a kid, like when you were like 5 or something.
What?
So can you see that Paul's doing this and it's all under the water?
Yeah.
Now this is like the best drill you can do for you.
Yeah.
For you, because what it does is it makes you spear to the right depth.
Yeah.
Oops. And I'm not doing much good finding this in. But also allows you to get into this proper catch position. You can't pause in it, so it will eliminate your pause. It will get your timing really good. It will get you into this position that was all showing.
Yeah.
Like breaking from that arm. So it's really awkward drill.
It looks like it's going to be horrible.
And you know what?
Look how he's doing it.
But the thing is, Elliot, when you hate it, it's probably the right drill for you, unfortunately.
Exactly, yeah. No, I know, yeah.
But what will happen is that afterwards, I'll give you an app,
Okay.
and then basically, what I'll do is I'll tick the drills that you need to go away and practice, and you basically log onto this app, and it will give you all of these drills to have a little look at. And then it will give you loads of training sessions if you were to train by yourself. But you can become even more geeky and be like that. Oh,
I'll laminate it.
Yeah, you can laminate. Yeah. Well, that's what people do. They print out their session, laminate it, and then